and welcome to Respect the Crit. I'm your host, Ian Duncan. My pronouns are he, him, or whatever you want. They're all good. And this is a podcast where we talk about the movie Benjamin Button in the intro for some reason, a movie that I barely remember. I will be playing Shiny's Two Scoops Charizard, the Dragonborn Wizard, and here to talk about Benjamin Button enthusiastically with us, please welcome Alex Herrera.
Hello, I'm Alex Herrera. He, him. I play Enkäg, Nito, a male, he, him, wood elf paladin. And on the subject of Benjamin Button, I was just going to ask. Yeah, I am now the aforementioned expert because I have aged to the age of 12 in the game when I started off probably in the age of, like, I would say in the late 20s, maybe even the 30s, but I aged back.
Ancient.
Yeah, ancient. 30, you might as well. It's done. It's over. That's it. Young at heart.
And to supply us with some really juicy button facts, please welcome Susan Spenader.
Hi, I'm Susan. I go by she, her, hers, they, them, he, him, whatever.
All of them.
I will be playing Dactyl, the white Dragonborn Bard, and it's on record that I am the one who knows the least about Benjamin Button, and I was just thinking about, I can't even remember the female lead.
Was it Gwyneth Paltrow? See, I barely remember this
film.
No,
excuse me?
Wait, are you thinking
Blanchett?
Are you thinking Seven? Because that's Brad Pitt and Gwyneth.
Seven is Gwyneth Paltrow and Brad Pitt.
I don't remember Seven.
And Morgan Freeman.
You need to do yourself a favor and watch Seven.
I think I do, and I
What's in the
intentionally
box?
forgot that movie. Yep.
What's in the box?
Nope. Nope.
Box?
The whole chainsaw thing really fucked me up, so nope.
Okay.
Oh, just that fucked you up?
Just that? Okay.
Well,
just that one?
The whole movie, but...
And that voice that you're hearing, speaking of chainsaws fucking them up, please welcome our dungeon master, Jamie Lee-Bonés.
Hello, I am Jamie, she, her, and I will be the Dungeon Master. I'm also here to talk about the 2008 seminal film, The Curious Case of Benjamin Button.
Oh my gosh.
2008.
I graduated.
Oh, whoa. 2008? Really?
Oh, wow.
And I didn't realize this, but one of the writers was F. Scott Fitzgerald. I didn't know that. It must come from like a short story or something.
It was a story before,
Yeah.
if I remember, but yeah.
That was a very dry year for movies.
2008.
Is that why we only remember Benjamin Button?
You got the Indiana Jones and
Barely?
the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. All right. Down right away.
Oh.
Yeah. You got the Incredible Hulk with Edward Norton. So that was a solid choice. You don't like that one? I like that one. That's
Another film I can barely remember.
The Quantum of Solace, James Bond, my personal favorite of the newer James Bond movies.
Don't remember it.
And the Star
That was
Wars,
the one with the
Clone Wars.
oil, right?
Yes. Yeah, the water.
Yeah.
The water. But there's oil involved. The guy drinks motor oil. And then, of course, Star Wars, The Clone Wars, I believe, aired in 2008.
You know what I remember about 2008? It was when I started realizing that celebrity deaths happen in threes. Although I can't remember the third one, but I remember it was Michael Jackson, Patrick Swayze, and then someone.
Sorry, third person.
Yeah.
They happen in threes, but only two of them are memorable.
Yeah. I was 18.
Whoa,
so.
Heath Ledger? Oh my God.
Heath Ledger.
See, threes.
Wow, that's crazy.
Threes.
Gosh.
Wow.
I told you.
Another cast member of Benjamin Button.
No, he
Was he?
No, he was not. He would never tarnish himself with that.
He was
would
too
not.
busy doing a Dark
I'm
Knight.
dead.
Dark Knight, yeah.
All right. Well, enough Benjamin Button. We'll speak more about that later in the podcast. I'm sure later on in the show. But until then, we need to get back into the world of Grayhill. So, Jamie, please take us away.
deep in the mountains, off the coast of the Isle of Chios, and past the barriers of this realm, we encounter our adventurers. After finding the life lotus, a magical plant that can cure any known disease and has legends foretelling of infinite healing powers, Enkäg took a leap of faith into what the group now knows was a portal to another realm, somewhere within the Fey realm. With no idea of how to escape, as the effervescent pool and portal that brought them here seems to be one way, the group now faces an endless forest and seeks escape back to the refuge of Grayhill. We are going to zone in on this forest and see two dragonborn and a hooded child at a makeshift camp within the wilderness. One of these slender dragonborn is keeping watch. Now, Tahra, you would be standing guard, correct? I believe that's how we left things off.
That's correct.
So whereabouts, I'm going to leave it up to you, would you have made camp? And what would Tahra be doing during this time?
I believe we are under tree cover because of the floating orbs above us, so we don't want to be in direct line of sight, but it would just be a slight opening, not enough for the foliage not to cover us, but enough for us to comfortably sleep. And then Tahra, she's probably just like cleaning her instruments, but also sitting down and looking, like cleaning and just keeping an eye out.
Well, I am going to skip ahead a few hours, and we are going to each really quickly roll. We'll just do a perception check for each of your watches just to sort of get the nighttime past. It doesn't seem like you plan on traveling through the night because of the rest that your group needs. So if I could get each of you to roll a perception for your night watches that you're doing here.
I rolled a 5. I'm really good.
You're tired. You're taking first watch. You need a nap.
I got a 9.
I just want to say too, if anyone has, Susan, you mentioned you were in band, so you probably know when you're like cleaning instruments that are like woodwind and brass and bagpipes, you're like opening up the spit valve and like getting all the like gross condensation from your mouth out of there.
I had a flute. Okay, so it's in 3 pieces, and so you have this like little rod with like a cloth on it. So she's like taking it apart and probably like doing that like so she's like looking down and like really into it because she doesn't want it to rust because this is probably the metal one. Like,
A lot of spit.
yeah,
Delicious.
lots of spit.
Yeah.
But it's dragonborn spit.
Oh, it's probably like frozen in there too.
Yeah, it's frozen. It's like chunky. So gross. Extra gross. I rolled a 19.
Lizard spit. Yes, I see. So during your watch, Shinies, you haven't really noticed much movement from these flying orbs above you. But they were once sort of dancing in the night. And as your watch goes on, you'll notice that they seem to be a bit more hurried. The patterns and the glittered pathways are a bit on high alert now. It seems as though everything is getting quicker and quicker as the sun is beginning to rise.
Do I seem to notice that this is going on in spite of us, or is this happening because of us? Like before that they had noticed that we were around or making noise or whatever, but is this hurried behavior that they're doing like something that's going on that has nothing to do with us? Or does it seem like they're taking notice of us?
You could probably gather that it looks as though they are looking for something, like darting down to the tree line to look through the trees a bit and then jumping back up to these patterns in the sky, these highways, if you will, of glowing orbs. they're on high alert and they are looking for, presumably, you could assume you guys. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I wake everybody up. Well, it seems like they're back on their hunt. We might need to move again.
What? Incognito gets up, very kind of like agitated. Oh, man, I don't want to go to school. And then like starts putting on his armor, and then realizes what he's doing, and realizes what he says, shakes it off, and just continues donning his armor.
I thought you only needed like 4 hours.
I do. It's just, my head isn't in the right spot.
Well, make sure you eat something. You're a growing boy. You need sustenance.
He interrupts Chinese. You're not my dad.
I'm not. I'm the greatest wizard in all the land.
Sorry about that. Well, I don't know where that came from. It's just being stuck in this form is really, it's messing me up. There's things going on in my head that I can't stop.
Tahra puts some jerky in your hand.
Oh, thank you.
We'll get out of here and we'll find a way to turn you back. I know there's a spell that can do it.
I hope so. And he just keeps eating the jerky.
Okay, we got to eat that on the go, though, so let's pack it up.
I really wanted to make a joke about your father and I are really worried about you, but I didn't know how to work that one in.
Yeah, he's eating it. He's got his armor on. He's ready to go.
The thing is we don't really know where to go other than to not be here.
I'll paint a picture because I know that we touched on it in our last session, but this forest seems immense and never ending, and yet has no defining geographical features. Like there's no mountains, there's no hills. Everything is in its place and almost has a manufactured feel to it. Like each tree, as you're going through the forest, you're like, oh, it's a little interesting that all of these trees are exactly 6 feet apart. Or,
oh my God, we're in the fucking back rooms.
It's funny that bush looks exactly like that bush. Like somebody copy and pasted this bush all over the place. You know,
we fell into the back rooms. Or
like in the Disneyland
fantasy back rooms. Yeah,
Fantasyland version of the back rooms is Disneyland. Just like, oh no, same hot dog stand.
Yeah, I just cast magic missile into my own head. I end it all. It's done. It's over.
I can't handle.
Learn fireball. Just set this place ablaze. There you go.
Oh god.
Oh gosh. Okay, so how do we get out of the forest?
Maybe follow one of these highways of
That's a great idea. Mm-hmm. That's a great idea, Tahra. Can we do that, Jamie?
Yeah, if you want to choose a route, are you just going to sort of go for the busiest of the sort of sky highways? We'll call them sky highways.
Yes.
Or do you want to pick
Skyways, please?
Skyways.
Life is a highway.
Life is a skyway.
I don't want to get touched by these orbs.
I'm still 12 years old.
Yeah, you really can't touch anything in my world, huh? Everything's dangerous. I'm noticing there's a pattern here.
Lotus, orbs, potential friends.
The friends.
Pools of water.
Oh, you want to touch this person? Sorry, they're a ghost, and they're secretly upset because their brother killed them. Sorry. You want to touch the stairs? Psych. You're going down. You're falling down the stairs.
No stair touching. So I'm going to say that it's pretty easy to just follow one of these pathways. And they are all sort of leading towards one direction. Like they all web together into one direction. And walking through the woods, you're going to start to notice that the trees are almost twisting away from you, pulling apart, making a path.
Oh, that's nice of them.
And
yeah, not like people here in Los Angeles. They don't move the hell out of the way.
and these flower petals are going to start to drift down from the sky.
We don't touch them.
Whoa. Yeah, this is like Jamie's been watching some like John Woo films or like Tim Burton films right now.
You know, I did just watch Coraline with Julian and Ed literally last night, so it's funny that you say that.
We were watching that right before this. Okay, so
Oh my gosh!
I was watching Benjamin Button before this.
Alex, the only
2008
professional here.
Cinematic masterpiece.
next time I'll
Starring
brush
Kate
up on
Blanchett.
it.
All right. Starring Kate Blanchett, not Gwyneth Paltrow.
Okay, I can't watch it. I have to uphold my status of not knowing anything about it.
Yeah, yeah, and then what we should do is have Susan try and recap from memory point by point what the plot is.
Oh my god, the last time I watched it was 2008. I can tell you other events that happened in 2008, but that's it.
3 celebrities died, and I forgot the last one.
And I can tell you all 3. Honestly, though, if we did like a Benjamin Button watch through, I would be down to do that. Just I haven't watched
do we
it in a
have to
long
now?
time.
Yeah, I feel like
Well,
That's instead of a recap, that's what we're gonna do.
yeah.
Right.
so these petals seem to be drifting out of nowhere, but these trees are moving for you. The further and further you go into this woods, spanning probably about 2 or 3 miles. It's going to get more open, and these petals are going to get thicker and thicker. Cocoa style petals.
Oh,
yeah. I'm gonna catch some. I'm gonna catch some and put
you
store them
touched it.
away
You touched
for
it.
like magical components.
You're gonna touch it, Ian?
You need to touch the pedals.
You're gonna touch
You
it?
gonna touch
Always gonna,
stuff?
Jamie. I'm always gonna touch it.
Oh,
Well, nothing happens. No, that's fine. You can grab some of these petals, put them in your pocket. That's totally cool.
Yeah, I give him a little sniff.
You can definitely sense, because you did the Arcana check in the last session too, that these petals, along with this whole sort of area, is fey magic. And like as you are holding these petals in your hand, you are sensing that this is fey magic in your hands.
Hell yeah, that's why I grabbed him.
Incognito just does that thing kids do where they jump on like leaves. They're just jumping from like, even though it's like a line of petals, he's just like, and it's, since he's wearing armor, it's just like this big gust of air knocking leaves up. Yeah, he's like,
Yeah, a big poof.
he did it like 3 more times.
And Tara's noodling to avoid any touching.
No, not touching. I love that. Walking in, you're now going to see this ethereal scene, almost like the pocket of life you found within the mountain. You're seeing that yet again now. There are so many flowers here. There are white oaks, there are apple and cherry blossom trees. But the most odd is that there is a fully nude woman in a bathtub sitting atop a tree stump.
Incognito closed his eyes.
I was about to cover Incognito's eyes.
Whoa, I'm not really 12. I'm still like, my original age.
Turns him around.
There is also a plethora of food, fruit, nuts, breads, honey, all over the ground in baskets and blankets, and it's as if there's a feast here for you.
Oh, I quickly say, don't eat anything. Don't eat anything while you're in another realm.
This does seem like a trap. And yes, you're not allowed to see. Stay facing this way.
Fine.
Tahra, I'm taking the note about being a hero and about assessing the situation. Now, my instinct here is to just go up and announce our arrival, of course, apologizing for interrupting this woman's bath time, which is very personal and private, I understand. But that's what I want to do.
Were this any other situation that would be very appropriate, or the respecting someone's privacy, but this person is bathing out in the open on a tree stump in front of a feast?
Yeah, maybe they're an exhibitionist, and although that's not my thing, I'm not going to shame it. I just want to be respectful of it.
We should be respectful and give them what they want, attention and eyesight.
Tahra turns you start to maybe turn your head, and she turns your head back the other way.
Okay. I take a step forward and I say, hello, greetings. I am Shiny's Two Scoops Charizard, the greatest wizard in, well, not this land, but the land from which we come from. And we don't mean to intrude on your bath time unless that is something that you want us to do. And if that's your particular kink, then that's great. We do have a minor with us who's not really a minor, but is embodying a minor at this moment. So we might need you to put a bathrobe on or something before we continue any other conversation. Anyways, we're a little bit lost and we may need some help. Who are you?
I mean, ain't nothing minor about me.
You get a light smack in your head.
You get a thumbs up from Shiny.
Yeah, nice.
Nice.
Well, this woman in this bathtub is going to raise their hand up very gingerly and look over to you. What brings you mortals here? Hellish escapades, no doubt. And peeking through the wood, you're going to start to see eyes.
No, actually, we're here completely by accident, with no intention of what you say. Our only goal is to get back to the realm from which we come.
And which realm might that be?
Well, we were in the place where we come from was a settlement called Grayhill. It was underneath a great mountain, on the Isle of Jizz.
Yes.
I should have went with jizz. That's
Yeah, incognito, with his eyes still covered, moves his head towards Tahra and says, "He can say that. He can say things like that."
You're not allowed.
Is she hot? At least she sounds very attractive.
You know, I was going to tell you, I was going to let you look at her and say that there's nothing shameful about a body and that the female figure is nothing to be ashamed of. But with that attitude, keep your eyes closed.
Fine.
if you're gonna act like this, Enkäg, we are gonna turn around and go
We're
right
turning
now.
this adventure is turning right around.
For some reason, I picture like when he woke up, Enkäg has that like 12-year-old dusting of fur mustache.
Just right on the corners, though.
Just on the corners.
Just on the corner ones. Oh my gosh.
Oh, is your voice cracking yet?
Not yet. No.
Oh, it's gone.
Not yet. Rapid fire.
Well, I am glad that you asked because this fae is very beautiful. They are sleek, slender, short, almost cropped in the back, blonde hair, almost white, and they have these very long elvish ears. But looking at them, their skin is glistening in this tub of what looks like milk and petals. Who knows? It might be jizz.
Yeah.
I mean,
Hey, if it's your skin routine, whatever.
if that's your
helps,
skin routine, right?
Yeah,
Protein.
it helps.
We've all got our own
all
thing.
The pollutants
As
out
long
of
as the
pores.
people who contributed were consenting, it's fine.
It's a lot of contributors.
It's a lot.
I don't know what creatures do in this realm. Maybe that's a normal amount. I don't know.
There's just some giant male animal that just has like multiple penises. And it's used solely for this purpose. It's solely used for this purpose.
I'll hold up my fingers and you tell me to stop for the entities that filled up your bathtub. 1, 2, 3, 4,
I can only
5.
go up to 10. I don't know how to. What's the
Wow,
denominator?
okay.
Stop bringing out toes.
There is a mixture of creatures, these eyes that are peering back at you, the contributors. There's a mixture of nymphs and dryads, sprites, pixies, but they do seem to be low in numbers. Like there aren't a lot of the same type of fae race, you notice. And this woman, this very sleek, slender, angled features, almost resembling Tilda Swinton, another actor in The Curious Case of Benjamin Button.
Yeah. She was a British spy.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
She was
I was going to bring that up.
She was a traitor. Yeah.
I was looking at the cast list, and I was like, well, we got to get Tilda Swinton in here somehow.
Yeah. And then she swam across the English Channel, and they saw her on TV, and she said, anything is possible.
I'm so glad we got Tilda for this. We stand Tilda. We stand Tilda Swinton.
Though the lights from above are still glittering in the sky, and they seem to be surrounding you now. It's starting to feel as though this is an occurrence for this space of time. Like, all of the lights are now here. You've got all of these beings coming out of the forest. You have garnered a lot of attention in whatever realm this may be. You came through the portal then.
So Shiny's gestures up to the lights and he says, we came here because of these. Somehow they're getting through into our realm and causing all kinds of chaos. They're changing, he gestures over to Enkäg, they're changing people, transforming them, making people's lives terrible, and they're creating ghosts of our pasts and haunts from our most vulnerable memories. And in the very worst case scenario, they're robbing people of their livelihood and their lives. We went in the mountain to try and stop this, to help the people of Grayhill, but we don't know what the cause is. Is there any way you can help us?
And this Fae is going to gesture her hand out, and one of these glowing orbs is going to come down and transform into a sprite. You mean these?
Yeah, you seem very acquainted.
Yes, these are all that is left of my people, and we've been trying to get out for quite some time, but the Lotus won't let us get past the barrier of the mountain.
Enkäg is going to whisper to Tahra.
This is not the direction I think we think it's going.
You may have seen them in the mountain and terrorizing your town, but that is the work of the Life Lotus. It is all healing, yes, but it is also the veil between life and death. That's why you must never touch it. It will beckon to you and call you to do so, but it will kill you.
If you don't mind me asking, why are you trying to leave here? Why are you trying to come into our world?
And at this point, she's going to stand up out of the bath and
firmly hold over Enkäg's eyes.
Why are you squeezing my head? What's the difference? What changed? There have been no auditory cues.
I'm looking around for like something to offer her to cover up.
Eye contact. Firm eye contact.
Oh, I can't look away.
Though she is not embarrassed at any of this at all.
Why would she be?
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
This is her domain, you know?
I start disrobing. Oh, God.
Oh, cover up Enkäg's eyes again.
Oh gosh, different direction. This beautiful being in front of you, proud she may be, is going to be draped with a glistening white, sort of, we'll call it a robe. You need not be ashamed, child, as she's sort of covering up.
Child.
And she's going to sort of gesture toward the beings in the forest that are peering, almost gawking at you guys in here, because they haven't seen a mortal in a long time. Man has always never fully understood us Fae, and have hunted us down from the island for years. This was our only refuge, and yet now it is a prison. We did our best to create a world we could be proud of with what magic we have left, but we need to go home.
And your home is where we're from?
In a way, I'd like to say yes, though speaking with you now, I can see that time has not passed as maybe we believe it has. Your garb tells me that you are at least a centuries older than when we were first trapped in here.
And just a small correction, none of us are actually men. We're Dragonborn, and he's an elf.
And he's an elf, that's true.
Yeah. I mean, half if we're really going to get into semantics, but yes.
No, you're a full wood elf.
Am I wood elf? Oh yeah. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. I said I've been. Yeah, I'm thinking about my Skyrim incognito that I made 2 weeks ago.
That's great.
I think I made him. He's also
A
he's
Breton?
a Breton. He's a Breton. Yeah.
Nice.
Wood elf. I am a wood elf.
Yes, yeah, I'm an elf. Wood elf, to be precise.
But I gotta ask, I mean, if these are your kin, these sprites, they did attack us, and they were hostile. They took the forms of people that we knew who are gone from us and tried to entice us with those images.
They also made a guy walk off of a cliff.
Yeah, it was not great. So it makes me, apprehensive about your trying to get back to where we're from.
And taking sort of a moment to think this through. Perhaps a deal. I can help you get out of this realm, and you can help us get back home.
I turn around to the rest of the fellowship. A deal with a fae, that's not super great.
As long as our chances are 69% and above, we should be good.
I like those odds.
That's pretty good odds. But I mean, what happens when all those wisps, break free? They're gonna cause more people to walk off cliffs, stab themselves. What's to stop these little guys from going absolutely bananas?
I do have a question about that. She did say that the lotus seemed to be the issue. Perhaps the orbs or wisps were reacting to the lotus. Maybe that's why?
So then we have to get rid of the lotus without touching it, right?
I have a trick up my sleeve where I could have a hand without touching things.
Yeah, it's really useful. You're gonna have to teach me that sometime.
A deal with a fae. Even I, with limited knowledge, know that's something you should be wary of and be cautious of wording.
We don't 100% know that it's the Lotus doing all of this. I mean, they still got through, even with the Lotus there, so they can get through. And these little orbs, these pixies, they've been chasing us ever since we got here.
Perhaps if there was some system or, I don't know, perhaps a roll we could make to check their insight.
Incognito he turns around, walks up to the fae.
So, Your Highness, Your Eminence, Your Beauty, how do we know that your wisps and pixies and other orbs and whatnots aren't gonna, kill more people? What guarantee can you give us? Because it seems like when they show up on the other side, that's the first thing they love to do. They make that chirping sound, and they read people's minds, or, they find victims, I guess.
I can't guarantee for each and every one of my subjects, but what I will say is that if we get through and you can remove the lotus, whatever damnation it has caused to the settlement should cease.
Inside check, please.
Go ahead, brah.
Ooh, it's a 17 plus 3, 20.
Whoa! Dirty.
My tiny, insightful child mind.
That's my boy.
Make us proud.
What she's saying about the lotus seems on the level, but there's definitely something that she is not telling you.
my keen detective intellect.
But it's definitely not a blatant lie. Like, it seems like if you get rid of this lotus, like, that seems to be the issue. It being the veil between life and death is a big deal.
So he's going to continue then, if that's the case. He's going to ask,
I don't know if maybe this was brought up already, but why did you and your people hide here? What caused you to come here?
And she's going to take a step forward and look towards the trees, the forest, and all of these beings within. I am Alora, ruler of the Fae. We came here because before man could master the art of magic, they would hunt us down for our bones.
Your bones. Oosh.
Crushing them into a powder so that they could harness our power. Hundreds, if not thousands, died at the hands of man.
When you say man, do you mean like man,
or like, and he points to himself and then his buddies.
Man, mortal man, not humanoid man, not elf man, dragonborn man. Human.
Oh, humans. Well, yeah, they're a little. They have a tarnished history, but
up.
I always say it's best to remember history and to learn from it than to try and destroy it with, legislation, removing it from certain places. I'm one for ensuring that it stays there so you can learn from it and not do it again. Message.
Or obscure portions of it. Or
change it. Anyways, but, mankind now is different. As you mentioned before, it's been a long time since you've seen or been on the other side. There's civilizations, there's organization, there's law, there is justice. But most of all, what everyone strives for, regardless if they know it or not, it's peace. The ability to live with one's community in safety, to enjoy the luxuries of life. As I once did as an adult before whatever happened to me happened. I enjoyed standing or brooding on the edge of rooftops, overlooking the cities, protecting them as if they were my own children. But
and he shakes his head.
that's neither here nor there. What I'm trying to say is, even if you can't guarantee the safety of everyone, that doesn't make it easier for us to try and help you. Because in all honesty, if trapping or keeping you and your people, your subjects here, means less lives being lost, then that's an easy choice for me. I'm gonna need a little more. Regardless of what my compatriots want, I'm gonna need a little more than half-truths.
And he's going to allude to the fact that, he kind of picked up that she's hiding something initially in that first insight check and giving her an opportunity to spill it.
Well, this sprite in Alora's hand is going to turn back into an orb and float back up towards the sky. And she'll respond, and we seek the same as it seems your civilization does. Peace. As ruler, I will guarantee you that anyone under my fold will not lay a hand amongst any on your settlement. We want to go home to our wood in the north and back to the Feywild where we belong.
Oh, so we're not in the Feywild. We're in like a pocket that they've
like
made,
a fake,
a
it's like a
sanctuary. I see.
Yes. Sorry if I didn't make that clear.
No, that's fine. That makes it even better
No,
because
yeah,
we technically, I don't think we would know the difference.
we're learning. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're learning as we go.
Tara's gonna do a flourishing like curtsy, like one leg in front of the other. A robe flutters up, does that thing where she's, yeah.
Yeah.
My lady Alara, I'm sorry to interject into your conversation with these two men, but I have one point to make and one question. As someone who lives longer than that of mankind, their memories are quite short, and my recollection and my purview of them, they don't seem to remember this persecution of your people. Or at least why? So you have that benefit. They may not even remember that your people hold magic. And then my question being, as someone who once cared for my people, do you not seek revenge?
Well, if it is as you proclaim, those who have gone against us are well gone now. Their ancestors' dust. At this point, my main goal is to increase our numbers and our sustainability so that we may once again thrive.
Well, I think you'll find that the people of Grayhill and many of the people of our world want exactly what you want, and that is just to live. The tragedy that has befallen you, the injustice, or may not be remembered by the short-lived race of men, but maybe it is something that shouldn't be forgotten. If we were to help you come back, maybe you can help teach people the history. But we need to get home, just like you.
Well, luckily for us, it does seem you have a bard with you to tell of our tales.
I was like, who? Oh.
What gave it away?
The
These bagpipes here?
They breathe. They breathe with every step she takes. Like,
Tahra is going to do that. Instead of a curtsy, a flourishing bow. My speciality is storytelling. I will spread this tale. Have no doubt.
And if we have your oath of protection, I will return it to you. We will make sure that you go back unharmed, at least not at our hand, and return to your settlement at the mountain's edge.
Incognito is gonna put a finger up.
Well, actually, there's one more thing. 1 second. And he turns to the group. We're supposed to help people who are sick too, right? Is that gonna fix that, or I mean?
Well, yeah, I think we gotta take care of the Lotus. So any help with that might be appreciated.
So like we burn the lotus or whatever, and then everyone gets better.
Perhaps we should ask her if destroying or supplying the Lotus is what we need to
Yeah,
do.
that's a good idea. Yeah, she's like you the most, so you ask her that because I don't want to ask her any more questions.
Oh no, you've been very insightful.
No, of
and
course not.
You've been very helpful.
I couldn't do that. No.
Is it because you can see her nipples through that?
Yes, that's partially. That's a little
Yeah.
bit. I'm very uncomfortable right now. Yes.
Both of you get like a slight, like the tap on the head. Not like a, yeah, not a smack. I'm not inciting violence, but like a keep your head in the game.
I'm trying to. That's why I'm asking you to ask her because
my snoot.
my words. I'm losing my words.
And then Tahra turns around. My lady, this flower, this lotus, is the solution to destroy it without help or settlement, or is it to supply it, or just contain it? We are uncertain of this portion of what we need to do.
The first thing would be to use the lotus as what its current use is, a key, a veil from our realm here to yours. You'll cross over with this, and a tree is going to open up, its bark splitting into, and is going to reveal an almost identical, but not quite, because everything in this realm is slightly off in hue and saturation, life lotus sitting or floating in a bowl within this tree that is now opened up to you. This is our realm's version of your life lotus. When we place it upon the pool, you should be able to pass freely, but until you remove your realm's flower, us Fae will not be able to cross.
And I don't want to get too into the weeds into this, but how do we use the lotus of our realm if we can't touch it?
That is a conundrum. That is a conundrum indeed.
That is your problem.
Your deal. Just don't touch it, though. No. That is part of the lotus's danger, that it will call you to touch it. It will want you to touch it so that it can pull you between realms. But if you can just destroy it once we've come across, then the ailment that is above the mountain, above land, should cease. The hauntings from the realm of the dead should go away. Now, this is all in theory. We've never dealt with anything like this before. The closest came to when we created this space for us.
What of those that of yours that have already crossed over? Some have gotten through. And
The orbs.
yes, we don't know if that's for malicious intent or if they're somehow changed because of the magic of this lotus.
They are definitely affected, for sure. They have to cross over somehow, and going through the pool is the only way. But without this, pointing down towards this mimic version of the life lotus, we'll call it, because it's not exactly the life lotus. It's almost like an engineered copy. Like they would take this flower and be like, okay, we need a key. That's what the key looks like. Can you make us another key?
It's like synthetic.
It's like a synthetic
version.
sort of version, yeah. It's their way of trying to get out. But with this, we'll be able to cross over without being tainted by the flower.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Sounds like we have a flower to destroy.
Yeah, destroy it, but like, I don't know. Something seems off about just destroying something that has the word life in it, you know?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I'm not 100% comfortable, but
Does heal any ailment and disease, too, so it's a tough call.
If we destroy it, we heal. She said we could potentially heal people, but also get rid of the ghosts, too. Whereas if we just make something out of it, we heal that girl, the princess. But we don't
right.
But we don't stop the ghosts.
Yeah.
So maybe destroying it is the option, but I'm worried about long game with these Fae. They're going to take those. If I remember the map correctly, the north above the mountain, there is woods there, but I don't think there are any settlements up there. So they would get all that land. But in the future, I feel like at some point they're going to be like, we like that mountain. We're going to take the mountain. We like where Grayhill is. We want what Grayhill has. And we'll be long gone.
This is
We
a
won't be there.
real Witcher 3 situation.
Yeah, and she didn't straight up say she didn't want revenge. It was, I'm focused on stability and
And growth.
yeah,
Say growth.
it was like, yeah, no, don't worry about it. Right now, I want these things.
Trust me, bro. Trust me.
And, trusting the Fae has always been...
And traditionally,
Stable.
it works out really
Traditionally.
well. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been like having my Fae hat on, like listening to wording, waiting for the moment, like, may I have, or like,
Right?
or thank, like, you can't thank a Fae and you can't say, may I have. Like, I was going to ask
Don't
her
take
for
a
her
gift.
name
Yeah.
and then, be like, your name's mine now, haha. Like,
Tee.
I just gave it willingly, as I always do.
Right.
All right. I think what we got to do is go back. We gotta do what we can to heal who we can. And then we gotta, maybe we bring back the lotus, the life lotus, to heal who we can, and we bring it up to the people of Grayhill. Put it to them, the decision to destroy this flower. And I think, Tahra, that's a great start for your story.
I believe so as well. we are not in a position where we can make this decision.
I mean, yeah, we're not even home yet. Yeah.
Yeah. We were tasked with helping the people of Grayhill. And while I feel for this realm and these people here, that was not our original task.
Spoken like a true witcher.
I mean, if she had hair, it would be white, so.
Okay, I think that settles it. We're gonna go back, right? And try
we need to put the bowl. We need to take that fake one and put it in the pond. So Incognito takes the bowl. I can hold the bowl, right?
Yes, you can hold the bowl. Just
I grab
don't
the bowl.
touch the flower.
And I will not touch the flower. And you hear him tell himself, "Don't touch the flower. Just touch the bowl only. Just touch the bowl."
Lady Olora, here's what we have decided. With your help, graciously, we are going back to our world, and we are going to discuss this matter with the people that now inhabit that world to see if they are comfortable allowing you through. We'll sway them based on our conversation here and what you have said and the trust that you put in us. And if it all goes well, you should be able to pass through once again to return home. If not, I've got a dancing lights here that's gonna fuck you up.
No. Leave that for later.
Do you want to roll a persuasion check for me?
No, I don't, but I will if you want me to.
I would love for you to.
Oh shit.
Okay.
Oh, maybe I should have spoken. That's like my best skill.
Oh no!
I do have inspiration, so I'm going to use that on this roll. I have an
All right.
inspiration.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a -1, so
I have
definitely.
a +5.
Definitely.
Shiny.
Oh, that's a nat 20, baby! Yeah. With advantage, I got a
Oh,
natural
okay, with
20
advantage.
-1.
Okay. Natural 20. First.
Oh
of all.
no. Oh no.
We gotta respect that crit.
We gotta respect
Gotta
the crit
respect the crit.
by damaging the integrity of this world.
Here we go.
Literally.
The
Here we
space-time
go.
structure.
Do you want to roll a d20 for me?
Again, no, but I will. That is a 19.
Oh my gosh.
Wow,
Dice are on
Ian.
fire. 19. You have pulled the Temperance card. You gain advantage on your next wisdom saving throws.
Oh, okay.
Alora is going to abide, though displeased. Will say, "You leave me with little choice but to trust that you will be able to convince these people that we mean them no harm. However, I would be a fool to fully entrust that man would have any sense of guilt or shame for what they've done to us. So I will accompany you."
Whoa.
Okay.
You're gonna need more clothes, though.
She just drops it down to the floor. No. I shall go as I am.
Absolutely not.
They might not let you into the castle or the keep.
We're
without
about the
clothes.
same size. Here, have an extra set.
I guess those are the terms.
Then we have an accord.
Do you want to hold my hand?
And Alora is going to reach out her hand to shake Shiny's. Not to hold it.
Gotta read the signs, man. You gotta read the signs.
I take her hand and shake.
You shaken hands, you have made a deal with the ruler of the Fae.
A fake.
I don't like that wording.
Love it. Absolutely love
You
it.
have made a deal with the ruler of the Fae. Oh boy.
Yep. And let's just see how that works out for you.
I'll just like to say Shinies did. We
Yeah, I
didn't.
didn't shake her hand, so I'm not even allowed to look at her. So
What's the worst that could happen?
I take my son and walk away.
Hello, listeners, and welcome to the mid-roll. This is going to be a shorter one because this episode's already kind of a little long. As you probably guessed, this is our finale for Ghosts of Grayhill. We've had a ton of fun playing this little one-shot D&D adventure, and I hope you had a ton of fun listening to it. The next episode that is going to be out 2 weeks from the time that this is released will be like a wrap-up session, something like we did at the end of the Fallout campaign, where we just kind of like, we talk about some of the things that happened, some of the things that maybe could have happened, and maybe some of the things that like went off the rails a little bit. It's a really good chance to kind of hear a little bit about the behind the scenes of how these episodes get made and our thoughts on them and what we were doing going into it, what we were thinking. And if you have any questions for Jamie or for any of us, we can do a little Q&A. We'll answer whatever you send, So if you've got any, please send them to our email, respectthecrit@gmail.com, or you can throw them at us on social media at respectthecrit, or toss them into the Ghosts of Grayhill channel on our official Discord. And yeah, whatever you send, we'll try and answer to the best of our ability. After we do the wrap up, of course, we are going to be jumping right back into our Star Wars campaign and picking up right where we left off. So if you need a refresher or anything like that, go back and listen to some of the most recent episodes in between the wrap up and when the new Star Wars episode drops, which I think will be in June at this point, probably sometime around there. So yeah, good chance to catch up with the adventures of the crew of the Way. That's it. Thank you all for listening. And now let's get back to the episode.
After adorning some light leather armor, Alora is going to take you back to the pool from which you came, the portal that brought you here.
I got a question, Alora. Why are your subjects so interested in us? The little pixies and the little lights.
We haven't had any connection to the outside world in quite some time. It's an event that you have made it through, and I believe the prospect of hope that we might see our homeland brings about a large consideration of the audience. And looking around, you'll see that there is whispers, and they're talking about the fact that you may be the savior that the Fae have been looking for this whole time. The fellowship that you've brought here may be the ones to bring them home.
This bloats Shiny's ego so much further than it should. Oh.
Alora, I have a question as well. Why did these sprites take on the form of past loved ones?
I do believe that is the Lotus's doing. When passing through the portal and having the Lotus be on the other side, they must have been affected by it in some way. You're not supposed to touch it, as it will make you a beacon between realms.
What about you? If you go through it, is it going to affect you?
And that's what this is for. Taking this bowl over the pool, Alora is going to let it sort of float across its surface. And once this lotus touches, or not even touches because it is floating above the water, but once it goes over it, it is going to light up with this glow, this golden hue. And you're going to hear this chime in the air, the same chime that you heard in the pocket of life in the mountain when you touched the water, Enkäg. When you reach the other side and remove the lotus, this one on this side should be able to let me pass through.
Tahra is going to take off a ring and hand it to Alora. I know you're putting your faith in us. So, as a sign that you can trust us, I treasure this ring. So, once we remove the lotus, please give this back to me. And she'll hand over a ring.
And Alora is going to take it with great appreciation, holding it between her hands. I do not accept this gift lightly, and I will make sure it is returned to you tenfold.
Ooh, 10 rings.
10 rings.
And just for listeners, this is her mother's ring.
What's the ring look like?
Like, I would love for this to be like some super like pretty ring, but it's coming from royalty, so it's probably like super gaudy and like thick band and gold and
Oh yeah.
No, it's one of those Disney edition Zales ones that they got.
yeah. Like it like royalty, like they don't know when to stop, right? So it's probably like a thick, it's almost probably like a Super Bowl ring, you know, like it's thick with like a huge
Yeah.
stone and
Hell yeah.
like
Gosh,
Some
if you
crest on it.
yeah.
think of all the people this could feed if you sold it.
Exactly. Like it, I wish it was just like, you know, a simple stone and like
2023 White Dragons
yeah.
Super Bowl champions.
Are these gems ethically sourced?
Probably not.
Definitely not. Definitely not. Enkäg sees this exchange happen and looks to the pond. After hearing the chime and seeing the light, he goes, "Yep, okay," and then whoop, jumps like he did last time.
Oh, shit. All right, Enkäg is going through first.
Oh no, now he's in the shadow realm.
It's a trick.
And you drown. End of story. No. What is the order going to be between the party? So Enkäg is obviously going first. Are you all just following right after, or what's going to happen next?
Can we hold hands against Shinies?
Yeah, oh yeah. I hold out my hand for Louvain and Tahra.
Love it.
Oh, I forgot about Louvain.
I did too a little bit. Before you pass through, Alora is going to say, "The fate of the Fae rests in your hands," as whoever's going to hold on to the bowl, because she is going to give you the bowl that this flower once sat in, not knowing that you have mage hand, to put the lotus in when you cross over.
I think that's Enkäg. Enkäg has the bowl, right?
I have the
All
bowl.
right.
I took it already.
When he jumped through.
Yeah. He just took it and jumped through.
Well, this exchange.
Yeah.
Deuces.
Whoops.
Passing through, jumping into this pool, you are going to come across the other side, gasping for air because it is a longer journey than you'd think. And you are on the other side, the life lotus, eye level to you.
I don't
Mage
touch it.
hand. I think Tahra, as she swims, it's gonna like follow behind, like the mage hand.
Cute. I love that.
It like bounces and
Yeah. So you're sort of gliding it across the water surface as you're getting out.
yeah.
Gotcha.
And I swim like a crocodile or an alligator, like a
Tahra
snake.
too. Yeah.
I'm struggling because of my armor. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, you have like plate, don't you?
I have a
I
chainmail.
forgot about that. Chainmail.
Still heavy.
Just walking along the
For a little
bottom.
kid.
Yeah, so in my mind, we get out of the pond, and then right behind Tahra, even as she stands up, the lotus is lifted up, so it's even out of the pond at that point. Maybe not intentionally, just like she has the mage hand set to follow her 2 feet behind, and she stands up, and it's like right there.
It's just following you along. That
Yeah.
makes sense. Yeah. Well, after it is removed and a few moments later, you're going to see Alora pass through. The golden hue and glimmer sort of glistening off of her skin. She is a beautiful woman. But the lush tones of the water and this oasis itself are starting to become dull. The removal of the lotus, the life lotus, is sort of draining the life from this pocket oasis slowly. Nothing to worry about quite yet, but it is something to notice that that glow of the water, its hue is now declining. I assume you'll take the way back that you came.
Just a quick aside, at some point, Tara's gonna ask, without Enkäg hearing, do you know if Enkäg will revert to his adult form? Because should I start looking into care for a child or a place to support child? I just want to know if I should be ready to be a single mother.
What are the schools like in Grayhill?
I'm not ready for school.
You know, the affliction that Enkäg is under seems almost random to Alora.
Yes.
As if it's a 1 in 20 chance that would happen.
5%, huh?
5%.
I would hope that you would not have to take on such a responsibility, Tahra.
I think just over the course of the day, Tara's even okay, well, then as a new mother, I need to look into this, that, and the other. And she's mentally preparing to take it.
And if she were to look up front, it's just him kicking rocks in the cave as they're walking. He's like, that was a good one. Oh, spider, look at this. And runs over.
Alora will look over Enkäg, though, and say it doesn't seem as though this will be a permanent thing. He will be himself again, if not in a matter of hours.
So Tahra has conflicting, oh, thank God, and also, oh.
I was so ready.
Right.
He grows up so fast.
Sunrise, sunset.
Tahra finds out, oh, I guess I want to start a family now.
We all learned something about ourselves deep under the hills of Grayhill.
It is going to happen as you are approaching. We'll say as you exit the mountain and the sunlight is hitting the party for the first time in days. You've been underground and under this simulated light of the Fey realm. So as the light hits Enkäg, it almost activates this aging process. What does that look like, Enkäg, as you go from being a child to an early 30s, maybe late 20s elf?
Well, if you watched the major motion picture 2008 Academy Award runner-up Curious Case of Benjamin Button, it's very similar.
I can't, bro.
Are we okay?
You guys started, man. I mentioned it offhanded, and then it just grew.
It exploded from there.
It just kept going. The sunlight hits us as we're walking out. Child Enkäg sees a rabbit or something, and he goes oh! And he's sneaking up on it. But when the sunlight hits him, he just it begins to expand. It's almost like a wave. It's a wave of vibrations through his body, and it extends him a little, and he'll be full Dark Knight Enkäg, and he won't realize it, and he'll jump towards the rabbit, and he overshoots it, and the rabbit skitters from underneath and shoots off to the right. Almost had it. Whoa. All right. Hold on, let me try something. I'm vengeance. Oh yeah, I'm back. Yes. And he just starts kicking rocks like he did when he was a kid, but now they're full force kicks, almost some little boulders. Yes, take that. Oh. Incredible.
You're back. Wow. To your full self.
Yeah, I feel actually maybe a year younger, but oh, this voice. I miss this voice. I miss these muscles. The extra length on all my appendages. Every appendage. He looks at Alora when he says this. All appendages.
Oh, dear.
He flexes a little bit. Except now when he looks at Tahra, he gets to a reverence of when you talk to your mom as an adult and she can still inspire fear in you. He's it's good to be back, and I appreciate all that you did for me. And he puts a hand out to Tahra to shake it.
She bypasses your hand and gives you a hug.
Oh! I hug her back.
Thanks, Ma. Tahra, thank you very much.
My little mommy heart.
Jamie did this all from the beginning. She wanted this. It was all set up.
Yeah. That's my agenda the whole time. All my non-child having friends.
Child
I'm gonna make you feel the love and adoration that I feel as a parent.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus.
For my
hope so.
friend Alex, now I have conflicting feelings. Like, I'm child free, do not want children, but now I'm like, Alex, my
is
boy.
No, child Alex was a terrible child. You don't want a child Alex. You don't want a child in general.
I have so many nephews. I am familiar.
I was gonna say, yeah. Don't you have nieces? You know
I have
what they're
9.
about.
I want to be friends with Child Alex though. I think that would be
He
rad.
was a very friendly. That's what got him in trouble. He was a very friendly kid. He was like, I talked to the mailman. I talked to the janitor. My mom was like, why are you? Stop.
Well, coming up from the stairs, you're gonna notice Eden is not there. He didn't wait for you at the entrance, this circular entrance, if
Bullshit.
you remember.
What a jack off. What a
Yeah.
jack off.
This echoing bowl that you walked up the steps to enter into the cavern below.
Oh yeah. Do I have any more now that we've sort of like been through this journey? Do I have any more insight onto the carvings here and the like elven stuff that we had seen before? Does that make any more sense
Sure.
to me?
Let's have you do a roll with advantage for that, because that makes sense to me that you now know sort of what this was leading into. You'd have some additional insight. Do you want to do a history with advantage?
I would love to.
Oh, that's pretty
18.
good. Anyway, we'll take the 18. Oh, well, these carvings or these pictographs that are in the stone of this mountain are elvish in nature, are some sort of mix between elvish and fae. It is very, very old, and you can't really read it because it is mostly pictures, if that helps. It does seem to be telling some sort of story. Like, you're seeing the same images over and over across the spanning walls. But it's not something that you could read, really. It's too old for that.
I turn to Alora and I say, "Is this your story etched upon these walls?"
It looks as though it is some telling of our story. And she's going to point to one specific picture. This here, though, whatever this is depicting, did not happen. And the pictures themselves are going to show some sort of attack of the Fae to the humans. She's just going to say, this battle never happened. They came and attacked us.
Okay, then I'll insight check that if I can. That's gonna be a 9.
Seems fine. Yeah, that seems like totally on the level.
Yeah, Laura seems she's really smart, so I think she's telling the truth. Yeah, 100%.
Has nothing to do with your infatuation at all.
No, nothing at all.
The fact that she's the most beautiful woman I've ever seen in my entire life, in my entire existence, that has nothing to do with the fact that she could be lying. No, not at all. She's telling the truth. 100%.
Oh, my son's first crush.
I gesture towards the wall carvings. I say, now maybe we'll have a chance to know the other perspective of what happened here.
That's if our tales are accepted.
These carvings haven't been seen by anyone besides ourselves, because anytime anyone comes in here, they don't even make it this far, I believe. They tend to, the orbs kill them, I'm assuming.
Or they slip down the stairs.
Or they slip down the slip and slide stairs. Yeah, that was another hazard which took me by surprise.
Well, when we were seeking refuge, we needed to make sure that not anyone would be able to come and find us. So yes, we did take a treacherous path within the mountain.
Treacherous is an understatement.
Maybe once we've had a chance to talk this all through and figure it out, we can make this a safer place together.
That is my hope as well.
Let's waste no more time.
After leaving the concave entrance of the mountain and back up to the city of Grayhill, hearing your steps echo once again, you are going to stop just outside of the Great Hall I don't fully trust this settlement, but with you as our mediators, perhaps we will finally reach peace. And she will gesture for you all to walk inside. And as soon as you walk in, Eden, the very elder gentleman who helped you into the mountain, is going to be there in disbelief. You're fucking alive still!
Well, yeah. What did you expect?
Corpses!
That's hardly how the greatest wizard of all the land would return after successfully saving Grayhill.
You should have assumed, Eden, that the ones who did not ask for money that would return.
Oh, yeah. How much did we make?
It's not about the money. It's about what we did to accomplish the goal. And accomplishing the goal.
That's right. And anything that me and Enkäg made, you can give to the townspeople.
He just nods.
Saved! Made your goal! What does that mean? Did you get rid of it?
Kind of.
Question mark.
Almost. We need to talk to leadership.
The Lady Grayhill and her sister? Both Lady Grayhills, please.
And you will all be brought into this bedroom where there is a young girl laying in bed, very, very sick. She looks ill, drained of color, and almost Benjamin Button-esque. It's weird. She is just so old looking for her age.
Getting real tired of this slander from the most magnificent films to ever be released in our lifetime.
It's reverence. It's only reverence at this point. We've come full circle.
As it should be.
Tahra, for a moment, as we enter a lady's bedroom, Tahra is going to have an instinctual, almost going to cover Enkäg's eyes, but then realizes he's a man now.
Whoa. What's that for?
I, and she's going to look at her hands. I don't know. I'm so sorry.
It's fine. Just, if there's something in here I'm not supposed to see, just let me know, but I'm no stranger to strangers' bedrooms, if you know what I mean.
We'll have to talk about this later, mister.
This dynamic is going a different direction.
he has the weird feeling like being in trouble,
Did Tahra go from endearing mom to cool aunt? Is that what happened?
I thought it was mother to mommy. No.
Sorry.
Ew.
But we will take that fan fiction, so please send to respectthecrit@gmail.com.
Yeah, but not to Susan. And thank you.
Yeah, I don't want to see it either.
I will be, Jamie and I will be reading.
Yes, I will be reading.
Why am I always involved in mommy fan fiction?
You brought this on yourself.
It's true.
Yeah. I'm merely a victim of circumstance.
You're the one who started this first.
No, I didn't start nothing. I didn't turn myself 12 years old. That's fake.
Well, you did roll, so really, technically, you are the one who did that.
I have
And then
no
you were
control over what happens.
You started calling Tahra mom first. Okay, whatever.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh.
I plead the fifth.
In addition to this young but old-looking girl laying in the bed, the Lady Amelia Gray, the older sister who spoke to you and begged you to help the town, is standing looking out the window. And as soon as you enter, she will turn around and look to Eden. Eden, what news? These people say they fixed it, kinda. I'm not really sure.
So Tahra is going to do a flourishing bow where, snow is going to drift up from her bow as her cape goes up. And then, my lady, we have returned and we have found the source of this town's woes. We bring to you a cure. And then the bowl will float forward.
Oh, don't touch the flower, whatever you do.
Oh, yes. Correct.
And Amelia is going to hold her hands outstretched and just hold this bowl with this floating flower in it.
This is called the Life Lotus, and while it, as its moniker suggests, provides life and cures diseases, it also causes these visions of misfortune.
Ironic, I know. But isn't life ironic? Don't you think?
My ladies, may I also present Queen Alora of the Fae. It seems that there is a pocket of Fae dimension beneath your city. But don't worry, they not want to take the city, nor do they wish to cause any harm. They just wish to travel north.
Alora's gonna take a step forward and begin to speak as a leader of her people directly to Lady Edith. Your settlement had made the unfortunate choice of picking the mountain where the lotus resided. We needed to use it to hide our space and hide our kind from persecutors, but now that time has passed, and the lotus need not be there to ward off hunters.
So, with all of that being said, we've assured them that you would be amenable to this, because all you want is the safety of your people as well.
Well, we are a new settlement upon this isle. I'm not sure what grave dangers you encountered when you were here before, but you will not have any problems with the House of Grey. You are welcome to your wood, but I beg, please, just save her. And is going to look towards her daughter, Evelyn. I had to do it.
You didn't mention that was her name.
Her sister, Evelyn.
Yeah, there you go.
It's Eleanor and Evelyn.
Been fighting for her this whole time.
And the Fae leader is just going to look towards her and give a solemn nod. With the Life Lotus, as long as it's ingested, it should take effect. You can boil it, mash it, or put it in a stew and feed it to any of your townsfolk, and they should see no ailment. After it is destroyed, the veil between here and the underworld should be severed, and there will be no more blight.
I guess someone has to cook it.
I have just the spell. And I'm gonna take the bowl and I'm gonna set it down and I'm gonna breathe fire on it. Boil it into a tea.
Okay.
Love it.
So
Hopefully you don't burn the floor.
yeah. Sorry about the carpet.
And then I breathe ice to put out the fire.
Yeah, we can do hot tea or cold
handy.
tea.
Hot and cold
Cold brew
tea.
or hot brew. It's fine.
I stand back and utter a prayer.
Do you prefer hot or cold? Because we have options here.
But yeah, from that bowl, I imagine, Jamie, unless, tell me if this is okay. I imagine like the fire like burns the lotus and shrivels it up, but it infuses into this water and becomes like probably not a great tasting tincture, but takes like a goblet or something and like scoops some of the water and then from the bowl and hands it to Evelyn to drink.
And as she's taking a sip of it, you see like that golden hue back in the mountain. It is going to fill her slowly full of life. The warmth of the liquid, the life of the lotus is filling her back up with the young, exuberant 8-year-old little girl that she once was.
We did it! We did it!
Yay, you saved Evelyn!
Yeah, always.
We didn't kill Jamie's child. Yay!
In every dimension, every universe.
Yes.
And Amelia is going to work with the town to hopefully get whatever is left distributed to the townsfolk who are afflicted. Because the Lotus is destroyed, there shouldn't be any more apparitions, so you don't have to worry about that. And Alora now needs to get her people to the wood. So I would think that getting the permission from the town of Gray, Alora is going to head back into the mountain, but before doing so, is going to speak with your group. I don't know how I could ever repay what you have done for us. We will have the opportunity to thrive once again where we're supposed to be. Thank you.
There's no need for rewards or penance here. Justice has been served. You were displaced because of the actions of hateful bigots, the predecessors of mankind. Know that you and your people are under my protection as well. That is my creed to you and yours.
I don't need anything from you, Queen Alora. It's my joy to bring your people back home and reunite them with their lands. But as a wizard, the greatest in all the land, it would be really cool if you would grant me the favor of being able to travel to the Feywild to reunite and see you reestablished and enjoy with all of your kind.
And you would be most welcome.
I will be your most humble guest.
And greatest wizard.
Naturally.
And my lady, I only have one request of you, that you live peacefully and your people thrive. And also, can I have my ring back?
Yes, she will pull it out of thin air. And
No, I've grown quite fond of it.
This belongs to me now.
looks better on me. So.
I'm really pulling it off. Sorry, not sorry.
It was my mom's, and she's dead
Listen.
now.
Sucks to be your mom.
But no, she will give you your ring back, of course. Yeah.
As probably hands are exchanged, but Tahra will grab Lady, or gently grab Lady Alara's hand and kiss it, or place a snoot kiss, whatever a dragonborn can do, upon the hand.
Kisses,
Just
I love
like
that.
touch.
I love that so much. And she will gesture towards you. You're not going to get any smooches back, unfortunately. Not that type of podcast, but
Later.
later. Alora is going to look towards Shinies and just say, I will head into the mountain to get what remains of the Fae, and if you'd like to close out whatever you have in town, we will leave first thing tomorrow morning for the Northern Wood.
Great. I can't wait. Well, it looks like this might be a small departure for our fellowship.
Although I can't say it's been completely unenjoyable. I can't say I have learned a thing or two about patience and a little bit about myself, more than I thought I would. For example, because of the transformation, I now have for some reason an affinity for jumping in puddles that I cannot explain. Maybe it'll wear off, but I don't know.
Finding small joy in life like that, that's some of the greatest magic that I can even imagine.
Yeah, it is.
He looks at Alora, and then he'll look at I guess from behind, it looks like we're still close to, I'd say we're inside Grayhill, right? We're still in there. So he'll look at some of the buildings, and he'll look back to the group.
This place is my home now, so it's been my home, and I will remain here as its protector. It's night. But you two, I assume, are going to different places.
Yeah, in the morning, sounds like I'm heading off with Queen Alora. What about you, Tahra? Where are you going?
I think this place has grown on me. Perhaps I'll stick around for a while. Seems that the tavern is missing a bard. And also, and she's gonna hold up a bag. You two may have refused payment, but I received payment. We are now the 69 gold coins fellowship. Perhaps we should spend this at the local tavern together.
Oh, wow. 69 gold coins. That's almost as much as a king.
I was going to say, before you guys leave, Amelia, despite your insistence upon not receiving a reward, is going to give you whatever little gold the town still had and the remaining town vouchers that you got in the beginning of the campaign. So you do have some money to splurge.
Some walking around money. All right, what do you say? Since we've got this night left, Enkäg, do you think you could take just one night off and come have a drink with us in the tavern before we all go our separate ways?
He'll cross his arms and then lean against whatever building is nearby, and then magically just some shadow is covering his face.
I would not oppose.
Head to the Boar's Head Tavern. Y'all have become a bit of local heroes in the very short time since you have been back. It's only been a few hours, but because of the distribution of this tea, so many townspeople have been saved, including the barkeep's wife. So tab is open.
I will say that Tahra is spending generously, and even despite her talking about wanting money, she's putting it right back into the community, buying everyone freaking drinks, and just all 69 gold coins are gone by the end of the night.
Yeah, Shiny's is taking vouchers and just handing them out. Yeah, he's making it rain with.
Enkäg is tossing money literally on the floor every night. He's sprinkling it in the street. He'll just dump 5 here, 3 here. He's trying. He doesn't know how to distribute it properly, so he's just if people who are down on their luck are walking and they see it, that's for them.
Yeah.
Placing it on tables randomly. It's 5 there.
And it's all secretly a shadow so it just shows up.
It is a night to remember, a la Hangover style, and you three are the only ones left to close the bar down because it is just party time. You accomplished a lot in your short time in Grayhill.
As the night comes to a close, Tahra's feeling a little after she's been playing tunes all night and then drinking and then laughing and playing games and doing dragon dice and just putting on a show. And then as the night winds down, the 3 of them are only left in the tavern itself. Tara's gonna break out her bagpipes and be I feel like I have a tune to play for us. And as the 3 sit there, she regales them with this tune that they may even join in on as the early morning rays come in through the tavern windows, and they're all there together. Of all the money that e'er I had, I spent it in good company, and all the harm I have ever done, alas it was to none but me, and all I've done for want of wit, to memory now I
can't recall.
So
Fill to me the parting glass. Good night and joy be to you all. So fill to me the parting glass and drink a health whate'er befalls. And gently rise and softly call. Good night and joy be to you all. For all the comrades that e'er I had, they're sorry for my going away.
And all the sweethearts that I had.
They wish me one more day to stay.
So since it fell unto my lot that I should rise and you should not, I'll gently rise and softly call. Good night and joy be to you all. So fill to me the parting glass and drink a health whate'er befalls. And gently rise and softly call. Good night and joy be to you all. Good night and joy be to you all. Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Respect the Crits, Ghosts of Grayhill. If you like what you heard, please consider supporting us by leaving a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts or whatever platform you use to listen. It's easy, free, and helps others hear about the show. For more information about the show, visit @RespectTheCrit on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, or come join the community in our official Discord. Incognito is played by Alex Herrera, who you can find on Twitter @AE Herrera or on his Twitch channel, WadeWolf10. Dactyl is played by Susan Spenader, who you can find on Instagram @SuzLaluz. Shiny's Charizard is played by me, Ian Duncan, and you can find me @idunks on Twitter and Instagram. Our Dungeon Master is Jamie Lee-Bonés, and you can find her on Instagram and TikTok @JamieMFBones. The music in this episode is provided with license or permission by a variety of talented artists, whose info and credits can be found in the episode notes. Please support them by visiting their platforms to hear more of their work. Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition is published by Wizards of the Coast. And remember, whatever the system, whether it's a miss or a hit, you always gotta respect the crit. Thank you for listening, and may you heal that which haunts you.
May I present Queen Tahra of the Fae.
Queen Tahra.
Queen Tahra.
Queen Tahra. Oh my god.
Are you usurping?
Whoa!
Oh my god. I usually go
I
to
rule
sleep
the
by now,
North.
guys. Do not judge me.
Queen of the North.
And then I kill her. There. Okay.
Stabbed right through
I
the
take a
heart.
knee. I take a knee.
Ian, I'm
front
gonna
of
need
Queen
a few more
Tahra.
episodes.
I jump out a window.
No, wait, that's how it ends.
No, you're my son. You're like next in line.
I mean, just dramatic effect. I just want to jump out a window with the cape behind me like Batman.
Okay, I'm so sorry. Take 2.